Yeah. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about disk management. So that disk management we have done it on the Linux server. So today we are going to do it on the Windows server. We will learn how to work on the disk management with respect to Windows server. Okay. So same as it is there are two components. There are two components. So adding a server, adding a existing increasing the existing root volume, and adding a new volume to the server. So increasing the root volume from 20 GB, for example, 20 GB to 30 GB to 40 GB, for example. Okay, there is a request from the client to increase the root volume from 30 GB to 40 GB. So this kind of request is something adding the existing volume. You will be increasing from certain value to certain value. Okay, so let us assume we have launched an root volume. We have launched an instance with root volume of 30 GB and we need to increase it to 40 GB. So let us do this first and then we will go to the other concept. So I launch a Windows instance. I hope we haven't launched Windows instance till now. So you can also see how you can launch a Windows instance and how you can log in into the Windows instance. So let me give the name as Windows Server. And here in the AMI OS section we will select the Windows. Okay, so previous classes we have understood how to launch a Linux instance. In the similar way we will select the Windows component, Windows OS operating system. So in the Windows operating system also we are having different types. Like for example in Amazon Linux you have different components. Like in Windows also you have Windows Server 2022, Windows Server 2019, okay, Windows Server 2016. So these are the free tier eligible, and you are having Windows Server 2022 with SQL Server. You have different types. You have SQL Server Enterprise. So according to the client request, whatever the operating system, your architect will be suggesting you, so that that particular operating system you need to select while launching the instance. Okay, so as we are having different Windows components, we will select one of the free tier eligible only. Okay, so I have selected one of the Windows operating system, and instance type I will select T2 micro. Okay, and key pair, let me check if I am having yeah, I'm having some key pair. Okay, so I'll select the key pair and come down. This is optional. Okay, so I'm giving them as default. Okay, so if you want you can select particular VPC if required. Okay, so you can just if you are having any VPC you can select that VPC, but now as of now we are having only default VPC in this particular account in North Virginia region. Okay, and if you select the subnet, it will be launching in that particular subnet. If you don't select, it will be launching in either one of the subnet. Okay, I am selecting US East one. Okay, so let it be like that, and I am assuming this Windows server to be a public server. Okay, so fine. So existing security group will remove or else let it be. Okay, so we'll give this as it is, and yeah. So one more thing you need to note down this is very important. So basically whenever you launch a Linux instance, what is the port number? What is the port number for the Linux instance when you launch? What is the port? SSH, right? What is SSH? SSH is useful whenever you want to log into the Linux instance. SSH port will be there, supportive port, right? In the similar way, for the Windows server, you have this RDP. Okay, RDP port is used for logging into the Windows server. Okay, what is the number, port range? It is 3389. For SSH it is 22, right? As such it is 22. In the similar way, for RDP it is 3389. You have to remember this. In an interview they will be asking for sure. Okay, you need to understand. And till now whatever the ports you have learned, right? You have learned another port, HTTP, right? So whenever you wanted to access something over the browser, this particular HTTP port is used, right? Okay, that's fine. So you have by default it will be selecting this RDP, and yeah. And one more thing, for the Linux instance you have 8 GB as a default storage. When you observe, when you try to launch the Linux instance, you will be having 8 GB, but for Windows instance by default it should be 30. Okay, from 30 minimum you should have 30 GB for launching a Windows instance. So please note down this as well. And this volume types, as we have discussed in the previous class, we have different types of volume types like general purpose, provision IOPS, right? On the high level, if we consider general purpose, for the normal applications we will be using general purpose, but for the high level applications which use read-write operations, like big databases, if you are using that kind of purpose, you can use provisional IOPS, SSD1 or SSD IO1 or IO2. Okay, so I'm just leaving this as the default value. Okay, so you understood, right? Now this is fine for this, and let me launch the instance. Okay, that is the reason I have given here 30 GB. Okay, so base value for the Windows instance, or the minimum storage we need to give 30 GB for the Windows server. So let this instance come up. It will take for a while. Once it is up and running fine, then we will connect to this particular Windows instance. Just wait for a while. So meanwhile what we will do, we know for the Linux instance, for logging into the Linux instance, what we will use, let me write this content. Disk management in Windows. So this is the content for today, and you know, right? Basically for the connecting to the Linux server, what you will use whenever someone want to connect or log in into the Linux instance, what application we use in general? MOBA, Xterm or Putty. These are the clients which we generally log in, we use this. For Windows, you will use RDP, okay, remote desktop. So this particular application you need not install in your laptop. Instead, you will be having that by default when in your laptop. Okay, if you type remote, you can see here remote desktop connection. Okay, remote desktop connection. By default, this will be there in every laptop, so you can use this component and you can log in. So let us go here and refresh this. It is in our status check is in initializing state. So let this come up with 2x2 status checks. Okay, that's fine. Our server is ready to connect. Just click on this server and just copy the public IP as usual. How you will do it in the Linux server, you will do the same process here. Okay, just copy this public IP and let it be. First of all, you need to decrypt the password. While login into Windows server, first prerequisite is you need to decrypt the password. Decrypt the password. What do you mean by decrypting? What do you mean by decrypting? Basically, if you just go for the key pair, go to your downloads or wherever you download your key pair, right? So I'm having my key pair in my downloads. So I used this key pair. Okay, so this is a key pair I have used for the server. Whenever I created this server, I have used this particular key pair. Okay, so if you open this key pair, you can see the content. Okay, you can see the key pair content which is in encrypted format. This is the encrypted format. Okay, so you need to decrypt this. So when you decrypt this, you will get the password. You will get the password. Okay, so let me click on connect. Go to RDP client. Go to RDP client and come down. If you see here, get password. What is this? This is a public DNS of the server, and username will be administrator. Basically, for the Amazon Linux or Linux, what you will use? You will use EC2-user, right? In the same way, for the Windows server, you will have administrator as a user. Fine. So the password, what we need to do, we need to just click on the get password. After clicking on the get password, simply you need to upload the private file. You need to upload the private key file. So now I'll upload the key. Where is the key? Go here. Yeah, this is the key. I'll upload. Once you upload, you can see the content is displayed over here. Okay, so just you can click on the decrypt password. Decrypt the password. Okay, click on this. Once you click on decrypt password, it has been decrypted. It has decrypted your password. Copy this. Okay, so you can keep it in your notepad. Okay, I'm here. So copy the username as well from here. So this is username, password. This is password. Now you are ready to log in into the Windows server. Okay, so just refresh this. It's loading. You need to copy the public IP address, and in this search you can click on remote desktop. Okay, just you can type remote, you will be getting this particular application app. Open that. Okay, so here you can give your public IP. I have pasted here, and connect. Click on connect. There it will be asking for the password, username and password. What is the username and password? This is the username. Okay, copy this, simply paste here. Next, copy the password, paste the password over here. Okay, and just click on OK. Now you will be routed. It will be asking for the prompt. You click on S. Okay, you will be routed for the Windows instance. You will log into the Windows instance. Yeah, so the server is booting up. It is logging with the administrative credentials. So let us wait for the boot. Server is booting. So your instance is ready. Okay, so this is the Windows server. Don't confuse. So if you minimize this, okay, this is our laptop. The background, what are I am showing, right? So if you see, the background is my laptop, and this one is your Windows server. You can see the public IP address of the Windows server. Okay, in the similar way, everything will be same like a laptop only. Okay, Windows server is nothing but Windows operating system. In Linux, when you log in, you will see the black terminal. Even that is also, it's kind of a laptop. But what you will do, you will do the operations with executing the commands. There, if you wanted to create a folder, what you will do, you will do mkdir folder name. If you want to create a file, touch file name. Right? All the activities which are going to be executed through commands only. But in Windows, you will be having graphical interface. Okay, don't confuse. This is my laptop and this is my Windows. And initially, you can just minimize and you can work on it. Okay, so now if you see here, what is the host name, instance ID, private IP of your server, public IP, instance type, availability zone, everything is displayed over here. Okay, so now we will implement our main goal. Today's goal is to increase the root volume from 30 GB to the 40 GB. So for that we have two steps. As you know, we have done it in the Linux in previous session. You can do it in the AWS console level. First step is to do the task at AWS console level, and next task is at server level. Okay, so same like Linux disk management in the previous class we have discussed, right? It will be in the similar way. Now I'll go to the console first. I'll go to the console. I'll go to the storage, the server. This is our server. I'll go to the storage section. Come down here. You can see the volume of 30 GB, and that you can see the device name dev SDA1. Okay, so I'll open this volume in the new tab. Okay, so this EBS volume has been opened here. So generally we call volumes as EBS volume, right? Elastic block storage. Okay, elastic block storage. In interview they will be asking you what is elastic block storage. Okay, so that will be at the server level. So just refresh. Okay, your volume is there. You can rename your volume and you can mention it root volume so that you can easily identify it. So root volume, that's fine. And this volume, if you observe here, this volume is attached to the Windows server. It is in use state. Okay. Now what is our client request? This is the real-time request. You have to do it same as it is. So this will be very useful for you. So this is one of the day-to-day activities where a cloud engineer must do. Okay. So increase the root volume from 30 to 40. Okay, that's fine. You come to the volume and modify the volume and update it to 40. Update it to same like Windows Linux processor, but at the server level it will be changing. Okay. So first thing what you have done, you have modified. I'll remove this one. Okay, this is different one. This is previous volume. Let me delete that. So if you observe here, there is the root volume and this is having 40 GB. If you click on this, it will be in optimizing state. That means this will come 100% so that our volume will be ready. That's fine. You have done it at the console level. Now your task 1 is done. We'll do it at the server level. How you need to do the server level? First of all, you need to open the server. Okay, already we have logged into the server. You can see here the public IP. First of all, you need to click on the server manager. There is a application called as server manager in Windows server. You can open that for application. Okay, so all the major activities will be carried out in this particular application only. Server manager is important one. Just wait for a while so that you know it will show here. It will be updating. It is loading. You will find here this storage section. Let us wait for a while. So if you see here, file and storage services are displayed over here. Just click on this drop down. Okay, so here you can, this is server section, this is your server, and in the volumes, okay, in the volumes you can click on this disk. Okay, so you can click on this disk. In the volume section, if you see down, it is not reflecting, it is not updated to 30 GB. Even if you open this file explorer in your Windows server, you can cross check whether the volume has been increased or not. See here, your root volume C disk is 30 GB only. The root volume C disk is 30 GB, but we have increased at the console level, it is increased to 40 GB, but in the server level it is not updating. Okay, so further what you need to do, you need to see this below one, you need to extend the partition. Just click on right click, extend volume, extend volume. You need to give the size. What is our size? 40 GB. Okay, just click on OK. Okay, it has updated to 40 GB. You can cross check, come here, just click here and it will be updated to 40 GB. Okay, so it's loading. See here, it has been updated to 39.9, that is 40 GB. Okay, so this is how you will be doing the first task, increasing the root volume, Now we will do the second task. adding a new volume of 30 GB to the server. Okay, to the existing server there is another request from the client. Let's assume that, so you need to update the volume 30 GB. Okay, so let us create a new volume. So for this also you have two things as usual. You need to create a new volume. You need to create a new volume in console, first task, and next you need to update at the server level. Update at the server level by mounting. Okay, you need to mount that new volume. Whatever the new volume you have created, that you need to mount to a particular folder. Okay, so as we update it in the Linux server, the same concept we are going to do here as well, but the interface will be changed. Okay, so let me perform this first activity, create a new volume at the console level. Okay, just come to the volume section. Okay, you will find the volume section here in the elastic block storage section. Just click on create volume, and note that, okay, please note that where are you, in which region you are, okay, in which availability zone your server is there. That particular availability zone only you need to launch, you need to create your volume. Okay, so I am going to give the volume. So what is the ask from the client? 30 GB, right? So what I will do, I'll update it to 30 GB. Okay, 30 GB, and here you can see that already it is in US East 1 only, 1A only. So that's fine. Just come down and click create volume, so that your volume will be created. Okay, so this is the new volume, and this is the volume ID, and it is having 30 GB. And if you come right side, it is in creating state. It is in creating state. But if you observe here, is it attached to any resources? It is not attached to any resources. It has an attached to the Windows server. So let me do that. Let me attach it to the Windows server. Now you can see it is in available state. Just click on actions, attach volumes. Okay, and to which instance you want to attach, you need to select that particular instance, and the device name you can give your wish. Okay, I am selecting one of the device name and attach volume. Okay, device name you can select randomly, that is no issue. Okay, so if you drag it right side, you have the server. It is in use state. Previously it was available state. Now it is in use state. Okay, so it is attached to the Windows. So here you can edit new volume. You can give the name for the new volume, so that you will understand. In real time you will be having many volumes, right? So if you mention the name, then it would be easy for you to filter and search for that particular volume. Or else you can do it from the storage level. If you come here, just replace this. Okay, from the server, from the EC2 instance dashboard level, you can click on, there is an option storage, right? From here also you can select that particular volume. If you drag down, here also you have that volume. Okay, so fine. Now first task is done. So first task is done. We have created a new volume at the server, at the console level. Now we log into the instance, and we will mount the new volume. Okay, so open this particular server. Okay, if you open this file explorer, you are not able to see the new volume. Only root volume is present here. You should, at the end of the task, you need to see the new volume here to be displayed. Okay, so for that I will just click on this disk, or just refresh this. So it is showing the root volume only. So So refresh, so it is in refreshing state. Hold on for a while. Okay, so it is displaying the new volume here. Okay, what is this? This is the new volume. What is this? This is the root volume. Okay, so 30 GB. So I have selected this. This is the new volume. I'll click on bring online. Okay, you need to click on bring online. Just click on S. Okay, click on S. So it is now online, and click on new volume. Okay, we are going to create the new volume, right? Click on new volume. Click on next. So this is your server and this is a disk. You can click on next. Okay, click on next. Here you can it is by default it is mentioned 30 GB which we required. Let it be like that, and click on next. At this point you can mention the drive letter. Basically in the Windows server you have C disk, D disk, E disk, F disk, right? So you can mention your wish, what are the drive letter you want for the new one. Okay, so let me select D1. Okay, that's fine. Or you can assign, you can create a new folder, and you can same like in Linux we have created mkdir new volume, right? Like that you can create a new volume and you can select that. Okay, but I am selecting drive D letter and click on next. And in the Linux server, when we have discussed on the disk management, in the Linux server you have different file system like ext4 xfs, right? We have dealt with the xfs. So same like for the Windows system you have file system. For the Windows system also you have file system. So that file system is NTFS. Okay, you have two types, REFS and NTFS. So NTFS is preferred one, and you can label the new volume. Here volume label you can give the name as your wish. Okay, so I am giving it as is, and click on next and create. So this is a confirmation section where your volume, your server host name, and this is a D, and the volume label is new volume, and this is the file system, and just click on create. Okay, so it was not there, right? So now you can see the disk new volume. Okay, see here your new volume is successfully created. Okay, it is completed. It is created a new partition and format, everything is updated fine. That if you open here you can see the new volume which is labeled with new volume, and this is the drive letter D. Okay, see here 30 GB. So in this way you have to do the activity whenever you get a request from the client for the Windows disk management. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear for you. Now I'll jump on to the console level concept. There is a live snapshot. Okay, there is snapshot. So basically whenever you wanted to take the backup, whenever you take the backup for the volume, okay, you can create a snapshot. Okay, if you, for example, there is a new volume, right? If you want to take backup for this new volume, you can go to the actions and click on create snapshot. So what does this snapshot means? It is kind of backup. Create a point in time snapshot to get backup the data on the EVS volume. Okay, so you can just click on create snapshot. You can do the description as well. So a snapshot will be created over the snapshot section. See snapshot. See here, it is in creating state. It is in creating state. This is the new. This is the backup one. So snapshot is created. This is the one creating state. In this way you can take the snapshot for a EBS volume. as we have previously discussed, for the instance, if you wanted to take a backup, what you will do, you will create a AMI. You will create a image, AMI image. In the same way, for the volume, if you wanted to create a backup, then you can create the snapshot for that particular volume. So we'll discuss in the next class what is lifecycle manager. Okay, so basically we do automation without manual intervention. AMAs and snapshots will be automatically created. So that we will discuss in the next class. So I hope you like this video, and if any doubts you can ask me in the comment. Thank you.